What's happening? I was 7, between 5 and 7, I was living in Baltimore. That's where my mother's from. And that was really peaceful and quiet. But by the time I was 8, we moved back to DC, moved to Anacostia. It was really aggressive. I wasn't used to the aggression. At least not as I experienced it in Baltimore. So that was kind of an adjustment. And then there was the stuff going on with my mother and father who separated when I was 8. So it was like me and my mom. I don't have any siblings. It was what it was. I tried to, there seemed to always be somebody there to kind of look out for me, some older guy, and in school or whatever. And then we moved a couple times, but still within the southeast, southwest area. And you just kind of knew how to. I just kind of, I guess, learned how to. I've always been creative. Always wanted to, do stuff and make stuff. So, I never really. There wasn't a lot that took my focus from that, and I really wasn't into like the whole tough guy thing and all that stuff. I mean, growing up, like my mother and father used to listen to all sorts of music, especially my mom grew up with Earth, Wind and Fire playing, stuff from the 50s, doo-wop stuff. She always had it. My mom is kind of like a closet musician. She always wanted to be one, but I guess was a little bit afraid. Then I guess I was a roadie, not a roadie, I was too young to be a roadie, but I used to carry equipment for this rock band that was next door to me, my next door neighbors, and I was like 11 and they got me exposed to Jimi Hendrix and Janis. I didn't have many friends in middle school because I was coming out with bow tie, neckties around my head and my leg and all that stuff. I thought one minute I wanted to be Jimi Hendrix, the next minute I wanted to be Gene Simmons, and the next minute I wanted to be Bootsy. So I was always like, there's always been like this big mix of music. When we went on our first tour with Steve Coleman, in the tour bus, he kept showing all these kung fu movies, Jet Li movies. And I said to myself, as soon as I get back to DC, I'm going to Chinatown and I'm gonna learn kung fu. And I got to, go ahead, bro. And you watching the film? and so I got home, I dropped my bags, I went to Chinatown and started taking kung fu. And I didn't stop. And now I teach it, that's my day job. So, well, and then Steve told me, Steve was like, oh, you taking kung fu, huh? Well, you're a Virgo. Virgos, they don't usually stick to stuff. And I said, just for that, I want to be a black belt. And that was in '94. Oh my goodness, fish sandwiches.
That's the last joint that we just started working on.
Whoa.
So.